Welcome, everybody, to this, our second international conference of the Lloyd's Register Foundation. And it's just really great. It is just great to see so many familiar faces and old friends and some new faces as well in the audience today. I don't mind confiding with you a little bit that it's a little bit daunting standing up here opening this conference because if you just look around the room, there are 390 registrations for this conference, people dipping in over the next couple of days, from 42 countries on 5 continents. So I just think, isn't that just great? Isn't that just amazing? And thanks for everybody for being here. For those that don't know me yet, I'm Richard Clegg. I'm the Chief Executive of our foundation. And we've got a great couple of days ahead of us with a really packed programme full of some great speakers, some keynote speakers, speakers from our grants community as well. And we've got master classes in the lunch break, competitions, prizes, press releases, load of stuff going on. And of course, our gala dinner tonight. So I'll see you all there and I'll buy you all a glass of Pinot Grigio, our gala dinner. You know, time really flies and it doesn't seem like a moment ago since we had our last conference in this same venue. And looking back, a lot has happened since we were last together. Our foundation is quite a young organisation. We're only 5 years old, and even since the last conference, there's been a tremendous amount of progress. And I just want to sort of reflect on some of those highlights. And many of these highlights are going to get covered in the talks and the presentations over the next couple of days. But just looking at some of these memorable highlights, we've awarded a number of large grants. One thing you will find out about the foundation, being a global foundation, what failure looks like is just spreading ourselves thinly all over the world. So we do cluster, and our grants are very lumpy, quite large, long horizons to them. And we've put out a couple of large grants with York University in the area of robotic and autonomous systems. Really proud about that. And with a health and safety executive as well on safety informatics. And we've published a number of key milestone reports as well, foresight reports as we call them, in areas of energy storage and the public understanding of risk, in collaboration with Singapore on the last one, and a number of sister insight documents as well on areas like global safety challenges, trying to identify where we could make an intervention that would ... make the world a safer place. Things like the engineering applications of blockchain, amazing, just watch that space. Roadmaps for additive manufacturing, a shed load of stuff. And some further ones as well are going to be announced and published at this conference as well in areas of design for safety and our global safety evidence base. So a shed load of stuff there. And we've also gone into new territory for us as a foundation, and we've, since the last conference, and actually quite recently, launched an accelerator program. Part of our strategic theme is to accelerate the uptake and application of technology. And the mechanism, one of the mechanisms that we've adopted to do that is to set up a business accelerator to bring together good ideas, end user challenges, and accelerate them to application. So that's the foundation acting in a venture capital, a VC-like way, all good stuff. Other milestones, so the Royal Institution Christmas lectures on the BBC, really proud to have sponsored and be associated with them. MX3D, this is, we're going to cover this later, our involvement in the world's largest 3D printed metal structure, and turning that into a living laboratory. And very recently, a Southeast Asia training program aimed at trying to save 1,000 lives lost a day in infrastructure construction sites in Southeast Asia. So I could go on, actually. There's so many more highlights. I mean, you click the shutter today and the foundation has grown from a standing start just 5 years ago to an organisation now where we've got around 80 active grants with a portfolio value approaching £120 million. If you do the right things and you do them right, you can turn that into a great deal of impact in line with our charitable purpose. So big welcome, everybody. The sole purpose of this conference is to pull together our grants community, our stakeholders and friends and colleagues to interact and forge collaborations in line with our foundation's charitable purpose of making the world a safer place. So please enjoy it, please interact, make new friends, collaborate, and then it'll all just make it a big success. So I'm going to move on now to our first session of the day. I'm just going to make some introductions. For this next session, we've got 4 speakers. Our keynote, I'll introduce in a moment, is Richard Judge, Chief Executive of the Health and Safety Executive. And then we've got 3 speakers from our grants community, including Paul Anderson, Professor Paul Anderson from the Royal College of Art, Asa Inan from the Educational Volunteers Forum of Turkey, and Andrew Murray from the National Space Agency, who's going to talk on the theme of A Little Goes a Long Way.